Welcome to In the Garden, and it is a balmy day out here. Last week, 7 degrees. Today, 36. It's like summer. We're going to talk all about attracting birds to the garden, and one of the main reasons that we do that is the birds during the winter will create a foraging route, and they're going to use that all winter long, and then when spring comes, they're going to have to feed their young, and they're going to use the same foraging route, and they're going to take all the insects out of the garden and feed their young with those, helping us garden. There's 3 things the birds need from us: water, some cover, and some food. And it's important to feed them the best food that you can get. And I use this stuff from Kohl's. It is amazing, especially in the winter. It's very important to give them something good. We're going to go through all this food, but first let's go over and just see the simple way to make water available for the birds. So anywhere you have water, whether it's a bird bath or in this case a fountain, you can get a bird bath heater like this. It takes a special thick cord to run it, but not only do the birds come here to get their water, but the squirrels do too. And whenever we're talking about feeding the birds, we always have the squirrels to talk about too. And we don't mind helping them out. And this will keep this water open for them all winter long. Any type of evergreen makes a staging area for the birds. They can land in here, make sure things are safe, and then come to the feeder. So if you're going to do this, if you're going to feed the birds, you got to keep something in the feeder almost all the time. And this is, like I said, such a treat, this special feed from Kohl's, and the birds are going to love me for it. Now, we mentioned the squirrels, and if you don't have a feeder up and you're thinking about putting one up, all you got to be sure to do is first have it at least 10 feet away from any tree that it could jump to. The squirrel could jump off there onto here. And also, this baffle is just some furnace ductwork, painted green. It needs to be repainted, I know. But this will not only keep the squirrels off here, but also raccoons. That's why it's so big. Before I had a smaller one for the squirrels, but then the raccoons got up here. All right, I've got something else that I love to feed the birds for the feeder over here. So one of the great things about the Kohl's bird feed is we can find it locally, and we can also find just peanuts like this. I got this at Best Feeds. That's where I got the heater, and for this flat feeder, I love to watch the birds come after the peanuts, especially the woodpeckers and nuthatches they'll come, they'll take the whole peanut away, and then we'll watch them eat up in a tree. And it's so wonderful this time of the year. As the days are getting longer, you'll start in the morning and the afternoon to hear the birds making their mating calls. They know that spring is coming. It's a ways away, but it is coming. All right, if you can't put a baffle on your bird feeder and you still have squirrels, I've got something else to show you. Whoa. To me, this is one of the greatest inventions for a bird lover. They're called hot meats, and it's sunflower hearts, so there's no waste. When we're putting in black oil sunflower seeds, which I use a lot, the bird has to crack open that shell and to get to the heart. This is all hearts, and it's coated with some hot pepper. The birds can't taste hot pepper, the squirrels can. Now, it's not going to hurt them. They're just going to smell it, and they're going to say, I'm not interested. So even though this feeder, it has a baffle on it, but it's too close to the tree, the squirrel could jump right on it, and I'll use this hot meats for feeders like this and some other ones that I have close to the house. You do have to be careful too, because that hot pepper, if it gets on your hands and you scratch your eyes, you're going to feel it. The other thing that's really important for winter birds is suet. This one is made with the hot meats, and so I can just hang it up here. The birds can enjoy it. It gives them just instant energy. It's basically just fat, and the squirrels won't bother it. All right, let's keep working. It's also important to keep your feeders clean, and one of the ingenious aspects of these Kohl's feeders, the bottom just slips right off. Very easy to clean. This one's close to the house, so this one's getting some hot meats too. And you know, we're attracting birds for our garden, but we're also attracting birds because they're just great to watch. And these feeders that are close to the house, right out the window, we can watch them enjoying a little bit of feed. So probably the most popular feed is black oil sunflower seeds. They attract a lot of birds. I like to mix it up though. I like to use the mixes, I like to use black oil, but also these are little suet kibbles. So that's just little pieces of suet. The birds love it. I will mix it up with the peanuts. And then these are dried mealworms. These are great for things that eat insects like bluebirds, robins, things like that. They just love them. But you know what? We always got to help out the squirrels. Follow me. So here's our squirrel station, and what I'm doing is I have a couple of big bolts in here. I want to screw these on here so they stay here. The squirrel will just take the ear of corn and run away with it, but I want to watch him eat it. So we have to help out the squirrels. If they're happy and fat over here, maybe they won't be so interested in the bird feeder. All right, I'm going to put one more on here, and then we're going to finish up.